Welcome to another beautiful garden. This one has this lovely, lovely border right in front of it. We're quite near the center of town, and this is just such a gift to the neighborhood for passersby all summer long. It is full of vibrant color. So I was looking around to see how the owner achieves it, and it's a wonderful mix of different kinds of plants. It's a lot of really vibrant perennials, sun lovers that bloom so strongly, and we're right out here in the sun. There are summer bulbs, like many lilies, and then she has put in quite a big layer of annuals, which are also so colorful right through the summer. I love to see this mix, this many-colored mix, this double border on either side of the fence. It's just stunning. I'll show you some of the wonderful, colorful things in this border. There's this rose that is going to be ever blooming, and I just love the combination with the clematis right beside it. That's a classic combination. And then you can see down here how she pops in these annuals that just add some wonderful color through the summer. There's this glorious peony right here, so open and beautiful with that yellow center, and poppies below, and a sage right there, and you can see, I think this is a helianthus, many things that will come later in the summer, lilies. This phlox is going to be so lovely. An echinacea, again, I think this is an annual, again, color through the summer. Scabiosa down here, more peonies, a beautiful phlox. It goes on and on. Those nasturtiums blooming earlier, but with this color through the summer with this yellow foliage. This is a bleeding heart, but that foliage is so effective right through the summer. And then to have that scale of more color on the other side of the fence is just really, really strong. And again, I feel like such a gift to the neighborhood. So we'll go back and take a look at the other side, see what is there building this very colorful garden. I mean, unusually she even has this shrub layer. She even has, just earlier in the spring, there's a lilac right there. And then up here, we have another beautiful, really full peony. Below, some annuals. Along here, some coreopsis. And look at the end. I mean, there's wonderful things. A Roseanne geranium that we know is going to keep blooming and blooming. And Ansonia, which is such a great plant with color right through the season. And then I just love a beautiful delphinium, and isn't that a strong one? That'll be this vibrant blue. And foxglove beyond. And then on the other side, lilies, more delphinium, lupin, a wonderful, it looks arbitrary, it looks very cottage garden-like, but I can see, and I know the owner, that this was very carefully planned for a look like this, but one that really works through the season. So even on the inside of this border, we have roses and lilies and peonies and, gosh, even this milkweed springing up for the butterflies, and another delphinium, so you have some repetition of delphinium through the garden. And maybe a little more shady here, there's a Jack Frost brunera. And yeah, I bet it is, because then there's a stilbe. We're getting into some plants that tolerate shade quite well. And you don't really see very much of this globe flower, and I think it's so sweet in the spring and has this beautiful leaf for interest through the seasons. As we come along, here is this paper bark maple. It's a really handsome plant, and what a wonderful way to cap the corner right here. Great, beautiful bark, but also a beautiful branching habit. So as we head toward the backyard, I want you to see this wonderful collection of lilac. It helped me, it reminded me of how to get lilac color really more into the summer. We have this type of lilac, this Syringa vulgaris, the kind that you really see everywhere and is just so beautiful everywhere in New England. But there are other types. I mean, even French lilac falls within this category and comes and goes, early, mid-May. But there are other lilacs like this. This is a Japanese lilac tree. So you can see the blooms are just coming along right now. This is really a plant that blooms late June right through July, and you get the look of the lilac. That is in the Japanese lilac family. Up here we'll see a Korean lilac. These bloom, right about now, right in June. So you can get your lilac color late June, well, I guess maybe a little earlier June. Miss Kim lilac falls into this category of the Korean lilac. I think we'll see another Japanese lilac in the backyard. It's a wonderful addition to a garden. As we head to the backyard, you'll see a really nice weeping cherry, this lovely bank of ferns, another lilac right there. Just a wonderful collection of different trees and specimens. So as we walk into the backyard, I want to tell you about what was here. The owners moved here 20 years ago, and when they got here, this whole big space was just full of invasives. Japanese maple, honeysuckle, knotweed. And what they did was clear the whole thing out. They had 3 young children. They cleared it out. They planted it with grass, and it was the family ball field for 15 years. When the children were beginning to leave the house, they decided to begin to develop it as a garden. And they themselves, this is another garden that is planted and maintained by the owners. They put in this central garden with just things that really caught their eye, things that they love. So there are a lot of interesting specimens here. Japanese maple, there's a weeping Norway spruce. They found 2 rocks that they loved so they could have a place to sit. There's one that they think looks like a manatee, another like an angel's wing. So it becomes this nice central space. As we head down further into the backyard, you'll see, well, I wonder on the way if you can catch that bunny right there in the garden. It's so cute. Here we are near a brook, and they feed the birds, and they have a lot of plants, and it's a wonderful place to find a little Concord wildlife. So there really are a lot of neat things to look at in this central garden. This is a walking stick plant. It's often used in flower arrangements, and it has this very interesting kind of branching habit. This is a very unusual type of honeysuckle. You'll just see a lot of things that you don't see everywhere. And very interesting over here, a baptisia in a color that I had never seen before. So, and then some familiar friends, a coreopsis, a nepeta, a chrysanthemum that will be just great coming into the fall. And isn't it cute? This bunny is still keeping us company here, not disturbed at all by me being so nearby. All right, let's head down to a garden that again was planted fairly recently. And what they did was introduce a big layer of natives that I want to show you. It's such a wonderful thing to do. Plants that really attract the insect life that is naturally here, helps them. They take well to this sort of land, and it's a great thing to do along the brook that is just beyond these trees and shrubs. So this native layer includes a number of different kinds of viburnum. One of them is in bloom, so lovely right here. It's a viburnum dentatum. You can see the teeth on the leaf. That's a way to remember the dentatum. And then we come along and there's a beautiful pair of amelanchier. There's pussy willow. And then I love this collection of iris that they gathered right here with just this little gentle brook coming along down beyond. As we go around here, you'll see a couple tomato plants and then their wonderful raspberry patch, all staked and ready to go for the summer. There's a lilac, perhaps a Miss Kim. I think a Korean lilac right here. You can see from the time frame, it fits right in with what we were talking about. A lovely stand of Rosa rugosa right here for the bees. And then they plant these blueberries, they say, for the birds. Birds go after blueberries so fast, it's sometimes nice to just accept that they'll often get there first. So we're heading down to another part of the brook, past this lovely stone wall, and right toward also an oak that they say is about 250 years old, and I can certainly believe it. It's so handsome, it's so sculptural, a destination right at the end of this garden. On the left, you can see a lovely pair of birch that they planted, and then this handsome pair of arborvitae. You often see arborvitae generally as a hedge, but I just love the shape when they're allowed the space to spread out and grow. It's a beautiful, beautiful texture. Beautiful, isn't it, next to the birch beyond. So again, down right by this gentle brook, it's so nice to have a space like this, and it's so peaceful back here. Let's head over a little bit closer to this oak, just to look at its texture, sculptural qualities. It's wonderful just to look up at it. Over here we have, again, just a wonderful collection of small trees and shrubs. This is sambucus. This is an elderberry right here. Oh, this is a stewardia. This is, you can see it, it's just, I haven't seen one, just about to bloom. It has this lovely, lovely bloom. But really, it has, the bark is, and branching habit of a stewardia is so beautiful. So we'll head back up the backyard, past another elderberry, there's more viburnum beyond it, and right up with a look back at the house through the central garden. Up here, oh, this is a serviceberry. So this is an amelanchier or serviceberry. I mean, this is a real New England native. Do you know it's called serviceberry because it blooms in the spring, fairly early in the spring, just as the ground is able to be worked and dug into, and it actually refers to funeral services. It's when New England towns could dig up the ground and bury their dead. So that's the service part of serviceberry. Now maybe that'll help you remember that. This is a weeping redbud with just enormous leaves, such an interesting form, and a beautiful variegated dogwood. And we'll head back past this really active feeder. You can see our bunny friend under it again. He's keeping us company all the way through this walk. And along the back of the house, There's a lovely collection of hostas and wood anemone, Japanese maple, these hydrangea rigging the porch right here. This is a very special tree. This chokecherry was here when they moved in, and the children just enjoyed it so much growing up. It's you'll see it's got this very unusual growth pattern, and what we think is that it was knocked over in a storm and then just started growing up again. So really fun space to explore. This had some ideas for great shade plants if you've got some space to fill in the shade. This combination of Lysimachia and Aruncus, and oh yeah, down here there's just a small plant of this Regersea. So really nice. Aruncus is a great filler for shade too, and it has this bright white bloom that is so eye-catching, as is this yellow on the Lysimachia. And we'll head up past a very handsome oak, right back to the front of the garden. So I love in this central garden all these little paths running through it, and I always love that there's a place to sit down, a nice rock to sit down on in the garden. So this one, this manatee-shaped rock, as they call it, is just such a great spot to sit alone or with a friend with a drink. It's very fun to have something like this in the garden. Yeah, maybe he's filling up on birdseed. They can be so destructive. They're so cute, but they... So let's take a walk through this central garden. There's a lot to see here, a wonderful range of specimens. There'll be a lot of color through the season here. I can see a real sort of succession plan in place with the chrysanthemums coming up in the fall. Here is a lilac that bloomed earlier in the spring. This is quite a late daisy that blooms into the fall, unlike the Shasta over there that'll be more like midsummer. And again, this Ansonia that's so great right now and in the spring, but is this vibrant yellow, like August, September, even October. It's a real statement. So very fun to see the variety of shrubs and perennials. Oh, and there's a huge hellebore over here, very healthy big hellebore. So that is something that can bloom as early as March or April. And here's that rock that looks rather like an angel's wing and is another kind of seat. And the weeping Norway spruce and a handsome variegated grass. And over here a boxwood and variegated dogwood and a viburnum dentatum. So a real treat to walk through this garden. Oh, a centara over here, that beautiful purpley blue. And I think this is a pear or peach tree. We'll come back around to the front of the house, just past this sweet Japanese maple with the lamium underneath. That's a lovely pairing. And back to this stunning border, this beautiful color for border. It just, it's such an amazing thing to do. They get really good sun here. You know, it's compact and near the house, so access to water is good. And it really, and I'm sure they've done a lot with the soil. With all those things going for you, this is what you can do with some thought and planning. It is just spectacular. And I've been watching it through last summer and into the fall, and it just keeps this color going. Something else. Well, it's been just great to be with you in this garden this morning. This special one maintained by the homeowner, and with a lot going on, a lot that's happened just over the last 4 or 5 years. So, you can see what can be done. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Goodbye.